Who would win in a fight between Optimus Prime and Voltron? My name is Kevin J. Johnston. This is 300x.ca, where we talk about everything sci-fi, comic books, and video game related. Entertainment is what we do, and these are the questions that you've asked us, and we're always willing to answer them. To answer this, however, we need to make sure that we understand what both parties are. Optimus Prime is an extraterrestrial sentient mechanical being, or robot, if you will. He has robotic componentry to it, but is completely sentient, meaning that he makes up his own mind on everything that he does. It is, of course, extremely difficult to kill a Cybertronian, mainly because they can take massive amounts of physical damage. Now, we do know that Optimus Prime is someone that has a great deal of compassion and love for all living things. So Optimus Prime being thrown in the ring with another robot, if you will, is not something that he would take on with any particular type of grace or appreciation. In fact, he would be so disgusted by the fact that he may not even fight at all. To throw a being like this, with his particular moral and ethical code, into a ring and say, fight to the death, he might just find a way to escape. But let's assume that he does not do that. As a native Cybertronian, he has the ability to change from his humanoid mode to a truck mode, meaning that he could drive at you as a full-bore truck and hit you, doing damage to both you and him, because it's next to impossible if you're the vehicle doing the ramming to not take damage. Physics will always get in the way of any problem as such. Now, he can lift about 100 tons or 200,000 pounds and throw it if he needed to. Plus, he's got various weapons that he does have access to, such as a very large arm cannon and smaller arm cannons, and a strong capacity to fight. But we do have to realize that he is considerably smaller. In fact, probably less than half the height of Voltron and less than half the mass, possibly even just a third of the mass, because Voltron is a very different animal altogether. We're going to talk about Voltron 1, which is the 5 lions that assemble to make one robot. Each individual lion is driven by a paladin, or a human, or even just living sentient creature who works out of the cockpit. These lions were designed to be completely and totally indestructible. So we have seen in many cases where the lions just fly right through large spaceships, right through other large robots, right through rocks if they have to. This is something that they can do that Optimus Prime cannot. They also have incredibly powerful jaws. So if all 5 of these lions were to attack at the same time, because in this battle, there is nothing that we've talked about in the way of tactics. And the tactic would be to have all 5 lions separate and rip Optimus Prime apart. But let's assume now that they're going to be in robot form. We know how massive Voltron is, and we know that Voltron has teeth on both feet and both hands, meaning that the lion's jaws that will work as individual lions will work just as well when they are part of the assembled robot known as Voltron. We've seen powerful lasers that come out of every single part of this creature. We've also seen that the back of the black lion can be turned into a shield wielded by Voltron's left arm. And we do know that the blazing sword formed by the 2 arms can then be wielded by the right arm. This sword has been known to cut through anything and everything. Let's assume also that because you have 5 different minds running this thing versus the one mind in Optimus Prime, there is always going to be that slight advantage where one lion could detach momentarily, make an attack, and then reattach itself to the main Voltron robot. Meaning that Optimus Prime is going to be completely outgunned, first off, outmassed, outsized, outthought, and just generally outdone. There is absolutely no way whatsoever for Optimus Prime to make this fight last longer than 4 minutes, and in 10 fights out of 10, he will lose every single one, just based on how tough Voltron was designed to be from its very beginnings. My name is Kevin J. Johnston. I can't wait to answer more questions like this for you. You can always subscribe and donate, and of course, watch all of our videos at 300x.ca.